Hi, it's Donna Robertson with Fabric Cafe. Welcome today. We have a great show lined up for you with Beautiful Batiks. I love, love, love batiks. And I've come a long way since I first met batiks. And I thought, what the heck are you supposed to do with these fabrics? I was just a little stumped with how to put them together. But you know, practice makes perfect, and I think these are perfectly gorgeous, so we're going to share them with you. Every quilt that we show you today is going to be a lap quilt with the approximate size of 45 by 60. We use the books that I've designed. We have 9 different books. These are two of my books that we're going to be showing quilts from today. We have 9 different books altogether. 2 of them are downloadable only. They're out of print, and then 7 of them you can buy as individual books, or better yet, if you buy 3 kits, you can get a book free when you buy 3 kits and skip the little patterns. Now, every book has 8 patterns, and they have instructions for your lap, your twin, and your king queen. So it's really simple and easy to use these patterns. I'm going to give you some tips as we go along. Your lap size takes 1 kit or 3 yards from your stash. Your twin size takes 2 kits or 6 yards from your stash. And the king queen will take 4 kits or 12 yards from your stash. So with no further ado, let's look at our first quilt. Now this one is called Diamond Dust. It's from my book Modern Views. It was my foray into working with a half rectangle. I had never done a half rectangle. I usually do my designing at home. I'm sitting on my sofa and I'm designing, and I decide I want to design this quilt, so I put it out on paper, and then I came to the office. It was a Saturday and no one was around. That's where my sewing studio is. And I promptly tried to make a half rectangle, only to find out instead of making a half rectangle, I was actually making a little kite, and then I didn't know what to do with it. And if you ever sew them the wrong way, you would know what I'm talking about. So this particular quilt, we're going to show you some other fabric. I'm out of this fabric, but this was the first one I made with the half rectangle. So let's put that up here, Hannah. And I will show you the block on this first. You do have to make a mirror image block, and the book will show you how that works. This is 1 block. So, you know, when you make a pinwheel, you make 4 half square triangles, and then you put those 4 triangles together to make the pinwheel. Well, it takes 4 of the half rectangles to make this bigger block here. So there's a seam right here where you put them together, and they are a mirror image. The book goes into details showing you how to do that, and I'll show you just real quick like. Whoops, let me find it here. Diamond Dust. Diamond Dust is right here. Okay, so let's focus on the illustrations. You do have to make a reversed image of these. So, and the way you do that is you'll actually sew 1 square on top of another with the corners touching, putting this in one angle. Then you put your angle the other way on the second one. So it's a fun way to go if you want to have a little bit more of a challenge. If you've not tried it, we encourage you to give it a try. And although I don't have that fabric, look at this gorgeous fabric here. This is so pretty. This one is called Strawberry Pie. Such pretty, pretty fabric. And when you're making a 3-yard quilt, your number 1 fabric is your focus fabric. And the way I write my patterns is I ask you to pick out a focus fabric first, and then you have 2 fabrics remaining. You will do the lightest one as your number 2, the darkest one as your number 3. This is absolutely gorgeous. It will look great in the Diamond Dust, and the pattern number, the kit number is 8020647, Strawberry Pie. The pattern is Diamond Dust. You can get 1 free pattern with every kit, or you can skip the patterns. When you buy 3 kits, you can get a book free instead of the individual patterns. Okay, the next kit So that was half rectangles, and here's your half triangles, your half square triangles. So as I was saying, you have 4 different blocks that you put together to make your one pinwheel on this one. And I really like the way this one alternates. Again, it's just made with 3 fabrics, 3 1-yard cuts, but such a fun quilt. We do not have that fabric, but we're going to show you Batiks instead. So let's put that one up here. And this one is called Sherbet. Pretty colors. So this would be great if you have this color palette in your home, or if you're a beachy person, it would be great for a beach house or a lake house. Love these. So pick out your focus fabric, and in this case, we wanted the Sherbet to be the orange color, and we would put this in where the peach is here. Then the second one is this color would be your number 2 fabric, and your number 3 would be where this aqua is. So you can kind of get an idea of how pretty these wonderful, yummy fabrics would look in this quilt. And the kit number is 8020648. Sherbet is the name of the kit. The pattern is It's a Breeze. It's from Pretty Darn Quick, and you can get it as a pattern, or if you're buying 3 kits, then you can take that book, Pretty Darn Quick, and you would be able to get that pattern. Now, if you would prefer to just purchase a book, then you can do that as well. They're $15.99. So each book is $15.99 with 8 patterns. Every pattern is written in 3 sizes. So we also have a last chance that I would like to share with you, and we're recommending the It's a Breeze for this one as well. We only have 4 of these remaining, but this is such a fun batik. Oh, love all those bright colors. So we have the very bright colors as your number 1 fabric. Your number 2 fabric will be the yellow, and then we've got this great purple, and this is an ombre. It's going to go from light to dark, so it's going to add so much to your quilt. Now this is a last chance. There's only 4 of them remaining, but let me show you how this ombre is. It actually goes from light on one side to dark on the other. So whenever you're working up your pinwheel, it's going to give you lots and lots of variety in there, and it will look so good. Now this one again is Carnival Lights. It's a Breeze is the pattern from the Modern Views book, and it's a last chance, only 4 left. But if you want to make a king queen, remember 4 of them will make a king queen, and this would be a beautiful king queen. Okay, the next one that we have is called Dreamweaver, and Dreamweaver is from my first book, and it is done in vertical rows. So it's super simple to make. It's all strip pieced. I know it looks like you've had to sew a whole lot of little pieces together, but what I did was I did strip piecing on this. So whenever you get through putting those vertical rows together, it looks like you've woven that quilt. So let's put that one up there, and I'll show you the fabric that we've picked out for this. Now, do we have any more of the original Dreamweaver?
We do not. We are sold out.
Okay, we've sold out of this particular fabric, but we do have an alternative here, and we want to show you that. So this is just gorgeous. This would be your number 1, your focus fabric, and that the focus fabric is the going in here as your largest print. Then your light blue is actually going to be here, and then we put this as your number 3 fabric. So we have the focus, the light, and the dark. This one is called Blue Magic. The kit number is 8020504. Dreamweaver, quick as a wink, and the Dreamweaver pattern is only available in the book Quick as a Wink. So this is the only place that Dreamweaver is available. So if you do not want to go for the book, then you'll want to pick the pattern called Hopscotch. It looks a little different. It's made with blocks instead of the vertical rows. So you might want to do that. So this one is called Blue Magic. Now the next one that we have is Pinwheel Party. And this one was a lot of fun to do. Designing is just so much. I love designing. And so whenever I was designing and I started playing around with these, with different blocks and different configuration, and I came up with putting this little pinwheel in the middle of a sashed block. And then I did a plain block in a sashed block. And I think it turned out really cute. Pretty, pretty batiks. And we do have those available, so you can see how these fabrics will translate into this gorgeous quilt. All righty. Now the number 1 fabric is usually your largest print. And if you look at this one, that's going to show up in this particular design. It'll show up in the center of this square. And then it also is in the border. I like big prints out in the border, so sometimes I put those out in the border and sometimes I put them in the middle of the quilt. I like to play around with that. So here's your focus fabric, number 1. Your number 2 is your light when you compare these two. After you pick your focus, you want to just ignore it while you're comparing these two, light and dark. Number 2 and number 3. And then if you do that, the pattern is then written with your steps telling you what to do with each fabric as it is numbered. Okay, this is the Pinwheel Party is the name of the quilt and the pattern. It is 8020259 for the kit. It's from the book Quick as a Wink. Pinwheel Party is not available as an individual pattern. It's only in a book. But we have an alternate pattern, and that is Pinwheel +1. This one has a nice little square there. I believe it's about a 7-inch square with the pinwheel as the alternate block. All right. Now the next one that we have comes from the Modern Views book, and this one is called Jigsaw. And it's so funny as we're looking at these, these different quilts. I can remember when the thought would come into my mind to design something, and this one was a lot of fun to do as well. And my husband Robert is quite the carpenter, electrician. I mean, just about anything that you want, he can build it and whatever. But we were talking about Jigsaw and something that he was making at the time. So this one became the name Jigsaw. So let's put that one up there. We do not have that fabric available, but we do have another one that I think would look great in this one. And this one is called Gold Rush. And this is a really pretty batik. So it has this gold batik in a flower. And that would be your focus. And the focus is going to go in this section right here. So you can see this kind of a pebble look here. Then we compare our 2 remaining fabrics. Our number 2 fabric is going to be here. And the number 3 fabric is going to be where the black is. That is going to be a really pretty quilt. See how that gold is just carried over? It's almost like these are the gold in the gold mine, the veins, and you're getting all that luscious gold. All right. This one is 8020649, the kit number. The pattern is called Jigsaw. It is available as a pattern. It's also available in the book Modern Views. Now, if you're trying to keep track of your patterns, you might want to visit our website. In our free goodies section, there's a button and it's called Free Goodies. And in that section, you'll find something called My Pattern Collection Sheet. And it cross-references which patterns are in a book and which patterns are available as individuals. So you might want to do that just to help you keep up with which patterns you have and which books you have. The next one that we have is called Jacob's Ladder. This one's really pretty. We're out of this fabric, but I have a great new fabric, and I've got pieces and parts to share with you and show you how to build these blocks. So this is a fun one to do. It's made with 2 different blocks in 2 different colorways. So we're going to show you both of those at this time. We'll put that up on the table. And this one So again, we don't have this exact fabric, but we really have some pretty fabric as a replacement here. We try really hard to kind of get similarities so that you can actually see it. We would love to make every one of our fabrics into a quilt, but that would take a lot of time and energy to do that. So we find little ways to help share with you how these quilts are put together and how this fabric will look in that particular kit or quilt. First of all, we do a lot of strip piecing, and special thanks to Sandy. She's one of my right arm people. She actually does a lot of the pieces for me to share with you, and she did these. So this, we just do long strip pieces, and I'll show you what we do. We then take from that strip, we cut what we call a unit. So this is cut, let me slide this under so there's no competing color. So this is cut right off of the end of this one, and it becomes a unit. And then this one is also cut off of the end. So you can see how that is done. Let me put this over here. Now we make another strip set with the other two colors, and we have these two. So this is your fabric 1 and 3 here. This is your fabric 2 and 3 here. Now to make this square right here, let me get my cropping tool so that you can see. And we're going to crop this so you can see this square that we're making. Here's the square. And so if we're making that particular square, then we're going to put this one here and this one here. Now I'll take that away. There's your square. Now up here, we're going to do the same thing again. So we're going to put this one here and this one here. So you see it started taking place there. Then we made half square triangles. Let me show you the half square triangle. This is using fabric 1 and 2. And then that is going to go right here. And then we use this one. And see, these are exactly the same, but we're going to turn them. No, it goes the same way. It goes like so. And now you can see how that is starting to take shape, and you are getting the look that you're going to have on your quilt. Isn't that gorgeous? All right. Now let's look at the fabric up close and personal here. Or we already did that, didn't we? We flip through here, your fabric 1, your fabric 2 compared to 3, your lightest is 2, and then there's your number 3. Okay, this one is 8020446. It's Turquoise Dreams is the name of the kit. We're using Jacob's Ladder, and that pattern is from Modern Views. So you can pick either an individual pattern or a book with 3 kits, and you get to pick. You just write the name of what you'd like down in the bottom, or you can take the recommended pattern. This particular one is, this pattern is called Porch Rails, and we do have this particular fabric, and this one is called Painted Desert. Painted Desert. And when we first got this fabric in, I thought it was so cool the way that the colors just kind of blend with each other. It's just little blues and even a little bit of the purples in the different fabrics, and it just really is a beautiful quilt. Okay, we'll put that one on the table and look at the fabric. All right. That's lovely. Okay, this is the number 1 fabric. It's your largest print, and I put that in the number 1 position, and you can see how they have these blues and browns in this one, and then this one has the blues and the browns in it. I compared these two and picked this one for my number 2. And then this is our number 3. And if you'll look at it, it just kind of blends with the some of the flowers over here in your coloration. So this is a lovely set, and it is 8020164 Painted Desert. It's using the porch rails pattern, and it is from the book Pretty Darn Quick. So you'll want to check that one out. Now the next one, we do not have this particular fabric that we're showing you here, but this is such a sweet quilt. And this one is called Sugar Pie. I really like this quilt a lot, and it's a happy quilt, and it's not hard to do. As I explained, we're not making you sew little 1-inch squares together. We're going to do strip piecing for that, where we sew long strips together, and then we cut them into units, and you end up with your block looking as if you did something very intricate. Now we have 2 different sections. Several weeks ago we had a fun segment where I picked out some fabric and Hannah picked out some fabric, and then we showed you what a focus fabric would look like with different companion fabrics. Now, do you remember which one of us picked which one over here? I can't remember. We liked both of them. We liked both of them, so we decided that we were going to show you both of them. So you can pick either one of these kits if you're wanting to purchase. So let's show you the first one. And these are these great sunflowers. This will look so gorgeous being in the center of this particular block. And then your number 2 fabric is your real bright yellow. That will go back here. And your blue is going to border. So let's put that there. See how that's going to really cause your sunflowers to pop. And that will be, the blue will be where the pink is here. So this one is the first set that we put together. And then we put together another one. I think this might have been yours that we did here.
Maybe so.
I can't remember. We just both were saying, oh my gosh, there's so many colors in that sunflower that we can do more than one. Now we did the same exact sunflower. They have the same exact yellow, but we went from blue to the burgundy. So you'll have to tell us which one you like best. Now I'm going to fold the yellow back so you can see how it looks with the 2 number 3 fabrics. So this would be just gorgeous in either of those configurations. Okay, let's make sure I don't mix up my which one's A and which one's B. So this is our B, this is our A. So let's start with A, 8020650, and that's Nature's Paint Box. The Sugar Pie is the pattern. That's from Pretty Darn Quick. Now, as you see here, this one ends in a 50. This one ends in a 51. So it's otherwise the number is the same. So this one is the B with the burgundy, and this is the A with the blue. You get the pattern Sugar Pie free with your kit, or if you're doing the buy 3, get a book free, then you can pick a different, you can pick a book instead. All right, thank you very much. Believe you me, we have a lot of fun in this room playing with fabric. And we we kind of laugh too, because as you can see, we have lots of fabric. And I can be walking through the room and I'll see something and I'll go, ooh, let's put this and this together. One of the things that I do is I do buy lines of fabric, and sometimes we put quilts in the same line. But a lot of times I prefer to mix my different lines. I think you get a much more interesting looking quilt sometimes. So whenever you're putting fabrics together, don't try to stick with just one. As long as you have good fabric, as long as you have the top quality fabrics, you can mix the lines, and you don't usually run into any kind of problems doing that, and make such wonderful quilts that way. This one is called Chain Reaction, and this is a fun quilt to do, and it's another one, though, that I tell you, this is a little bit more challenging. It's not as intricate as it looks because you're going to do specific blocks, and I'll show you how simple those blocks are. And then once you sew them together, you get this great intricate look. So let's put that one over here on the table, and we've got batiks for it. We're out of this fabric. All right, let's crop these blocks so you can see what a cool way that you can put your quilt together with a couple of simple blocks. Now, I'm sorry, John. Let me pull that back a little. Poke John with the end of the cropping tool. Okay, this is a simple snowball. Lots and lots of people make that as one of their first step out of squares. Let's try a snowball. And so this is a snowball pattern, super simple, easy to make. And even more simple is this block. So when you make this block, you strip piece this and cut it into units, and then you put the blue on the side. That's just about as cool as it can get. Now you're going to make some of the snowballs with green corners, some with blue corners. You're going to make your square here with blue and green, and instead of the green here, we put it on the outside of this block and the top and the bottom. So it's a fun quilt that's not hard to make, so don't let it scare you, but it has a little more challenge maybe than what you've done in the past. All right, this is a pretty batik that's going to go with this quilt. So with our number one, we picked this pretty kind of a periwinkle purpley color that I like a lot. And that's your number one. So the number one fabric you need a light color back here, but you could use this because, again, whatever you pick, the other two are going to be contrasting the way that you need them to contrast. So here's your number two fabric and your number three fabric. And this one is called Bayou Whispers. We have fun naming things. 8020-52924. 8020-524. Chain Reaction. Modern Views is the book. The pattern, Chain Reaction is only available in Modern Views. It is not available as an individual. So your alternate pattern would be Snowball if you do not take the book Modern Views. Would look really good in a snowball too. All right, the next one. This is we live in Tyler, Texas, and we're known for our brick streets. We have a whole section downtown, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, those brick streets were built back in 1890. I believe I learned at one point, and they're still there. You do go bumpity bump, 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 bump while you're driving across them, but they're still there, and it's a charming area of town that has been a lot of restoration going on. So when we designed this and we did these different blocks, I was saying, what are we going to name this one? And Jessica said, how about Brick Streets? And I went, oh, that's great. It's perfect. So this one's called Brick Street. And we do not have this particular fabric, but we do have some fun batiks. We are doing batiks today. So we're going to show you this one. And this one is another one that would be great for like a beach house. These are sand dollars, and that's what we named this particular quilt. So there's your number one fabric. And that's going to go here where your biggest print is. And then we're going to put our number two fabric in the background. Now remember, number two usually falls to the back of your vision, and you'll see what's popping on top of it. And this is your number three fabric. It's going to go here. So these three make up Sand Dollar, 8020-652. Brick Street is the name of the pattern. It is only available in the book Fast and Fun. Our alternate pattern, our suggestion would be Pretty Please. Now remember, 3-yard quilts have that magic quality that any of the fabrics I show you will work with any of my patterns. So you can use any pattern with any of these. It's just that we have yeah, we have little preferences and thoughts on which one's going to look best when we make suggestions to you. All right. Now, sometimes some people say this is their favorite part of the show because this is last chance. This is where we remind you that some of our quilt kits are running low, and if you are wanting to take advantage of these are the last chance. We do have a button on our website called Last Chance, so you can check it out at any time. But then in our shows, we like to share with you so you can get a little up close and personal with these beautiful fabrics. This one is called Roses at Dusk. The kit number is 8020655. Candy Stripe is the pattern that we're recommending. This is not in a book. It's only available as a pattern. It's a last chance, and we only have one. The Beautiful Roses is your number 1 fabric. You got this light, kind of a blue-gray, green, a little green in there too, but it's got that blue undertones. And then our number 3 fabric is the light blue. So that one, just one left on that. This one is called Key Lime Twist. Now I can see this in a beach house or a sun porch. Oh, I love those things. I'm trying to gear up for going into winter, and thankfully we have a wood burning stove, so I just go from enjoying the summertime to enjoying the wood burning stove. And I've even gotten pretty good at lighting a fire. Here's our number 1 fabric, and then our number 2 fabric is the yellow, and the number 3 fabric is this green ferny, some kind of a little tropical plant. All right, this one, only one left. We have Key Lime Twist, 8020654. Kaleidoscope is the pattern that we recommend, and it is a last chance, only one left. And the next one that we have, this one is called Luscious. And it is luscious, and there's only 2 left of this one. And so Luscious is 8020653. Simply Strips is the pattern that we are recommending. This is a fun one. And you make strip pieces exactly the same block, and each block is turned, and it goes together super fast. It is the last chance. There's only 2 left. Fabric number 1, fabric number 2, and fabric number 3 is that wonderful purple ombre that we showed you earlier in one of the other kits. So this one would really make up nicely. There's only 2 left. If you really like this one and want to make a twin, hop on it. So that's our show today, and we hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I have a new love affair with batiks, because even though at first it kind of scared me a little bit when I looked at them and thought, how do you put these together? I've really enjoyed them now. Got many new shipments coming in with more batiks that we're ordering for you. So hop on over to fabriccafe.com, pick out the kits you like best, and don't forget to get 3 so you can get that book free. We also have many more videos on our YouTube channel, virtualquiltshowvideos.com. So until next time, it's Donna Robertson.